So we're going to circle back to standard deductions to understand this next part of the interview. So you can get a standard deduction, again, as we discussed before, just for being a tax-paying citizen. It's a standard number no matter what your income is, but it's important to note that taking or claiming the standard deduction is actually just one of the options you have. There's one of two options. Now you can take the standard deduction of, if you're a single person, $6,200, or you can itemize your deductions, which can sometimes end up being more than the 6,200 that you would get just from the standard. And that's why it's called the standard, because you're not itemizing anything. So let's talk about itemizing. What does that mean? Well, if you are a self-employed person, as Dr. Wolf discusses, or like a creative, or anyways, there's starting your own business, an entrepreneur, there are certain things that you can deduct that have like a deduction value on them. So for example, if you are self-employed and you, as Dr. Wolf discusses, you are buying a computer for work, that is something that you can deduct. If you ride your bike to work, that is something that you can deduct. The government rewards you for doing things like that. And while each little thing that you can itemize, like buying the laptop for work, or as Dr. Wolf says, having a space even in your house to write, you can itemize each one of those small things, which is tedious and it takes a lot of work, and each one of those things may not be worth a lot on its own, but when you put them all together, sometimes all of those deductions together can be worth more than that 6,200 that you would get from the standard deduction. So if you itemize and it's worth more than the 6,200, it's probably worth your while to file your itemized deductions instead of taking the standard deduction. So to clarify, you can do one or the other. You can just take the standard 6,200 if you're a single person, or you can itemize, and if it ends up being more than the 6,200, you probably want to take that instead, even though it's a little bit more work. You still end up saving a little bit more money. So what the Congresswoman and Dr. Wolf talk about is they're actually changing the things that you can itemize with this tax bill. So a lot of things that you could deduct and put on that itemizing list before, you can no longer get a deduction for it. So that can serve a problem for young entrepreneurs or creatives or people who are self-employed, because they're not making a lot of money at that point, and those small little deductions, when they add up, can really make a huge difference in somebody's life. So what you can still itemize according to the tax bill and this tax reform is you can still itemize things like planes, which is something that primarily wealthy people are going to be itemizing. You're not going to get new entrepreneurs or young creatives who are going to be like taking jets across the world.